Hare Krishna. So today we have a very interesting topic about politics and religion. Lord Rishabhadev explains in 5th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, Gurorna sasyat svajanona sasyat pitana sasyat janina sasyat Daivanna tatsyanna paticha sasyanna mocha ityas samupyetyam mrityum. Then those who are unable to deliver those who are dependent on them, they shouldn't become a teacher or a guru. Gururna sasyat shajanona sasyat. One should not even become a relative or a father or mother, or even a worshipful deity. So if we put on altars a deity that is not able to deliver us from this material world, we shouldn't put it on the altar. It shouldn't become a deity, worshipful deity. And of course, we shouldn't become a king also, or a political head, if we are not able to deliver from material suffering those who are dependent on us. But in order to become such a personality that we can help our dependents to be free from material miseries, we have to have this knowledge first. And we should be guided by the saintly personalities. And this is in fact the Vedic system. The Vedic saintly kings were always guided by the sages, and they have had the highest regard for the sages. We should know what is the prime force that everyone follows, in fact. Do you know what is it? What we follow, what we strive for?
Happiness.
Happiness, exactly. We all want to be happy. This is our nature. Ananda Bhayobhya Sat. We are the living entities of happiness. We are pleasure-seeking living entities. And we cannot be happy, we cannot be satisfied even for a moment without happiness. Every our thought, every our word, every our action, and if we know it or not, is searching for happiness. Even if we do something that we don't like, we have some job that we don't like, and many have such jobs in this world. We do it because we are afraid that if we lose this job that I don't like, I will suffer even more. So to avoid further unhappiness, I do something that I don't like. So in order to achieve this happiness and to teach also others, because this is the teaching of all the Vedas, it is Sarve Sukhino Bhavantu. Let all living entities be happy. Let all living entities be happy. And therefore, one should know what is happiness and how to achieve it. And this was also one of the first questions the sages in Naimisharanya, who assembled together 5,000 years ago, asked Sutta Goswami. They said, Burini Buri Karmani Shotavyana Vipagasha Adaksadotra Etsaram Samudritya Manisha Bruhi Padraya Bhutanam Atma Suprasidati. You have studied many scriptures, and in different scriptures there are different paths and different rituals and prescriptions and prohibitions But please tell us what is the essence of everything by which one can become perfectly happy. Suprasidati. Prasidati means happy, and suprasidati means perfectly, completely happy. And in the next chapter, Sutta Goswami answers. He says, Savai pumsam paro dharmo yato bhaktira dokshaje ahaitukya praktihata yayatma suprasidati. And he uses the same word, suprasidati. That one can become perfectly happy, suprasidati, only by unconditional love, by ahetuki bhakti. Ahetuki bhakti. And this love should be uninterrupted, because if we interrupt this ahetuki bhakti, unconditional love, even for 10 minutes, for these 10 minutes we won't be happy. And this is not the only condition. This love should be, in order to be perfect, because we all want perfect love, should be directed towards a dokshaja. A dokshaja means the Lord who is beyond our sense perception, who is the only perfect personality, in fact. So we may have loving relationships with our wife, with our husbands, with our children, with our parents, with our relatives, but not the relationship is not always perfect. and therefore there is fight on every level. Fight between children and parents, between teachers and students, between different nations, between different cultures, between different religions. So many fighting. Yes. And even if we take the drop of blood, there are literally civilizations who are fighting against each other. So in every level of existence, this material life means fight. So in modern world, we see, because this neither politics nor religion, usually they don't know this secret, that happiness can be achieved only by ahetuki bhakti, unconditional love, unconditional devotional service. That means I don't put any conditions for my service. I don't pray for material benefits, because Prahlad Maharaj in 7th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, he says that this, because Lord Nrsimhadev wanted to give different boons to Prahlad, and he said, I am eternally your servant and you are eternally my master. So if I pray for different boons, if I expect different boons from you, this is Vanik mentality. Do you know what is Vanik? Anyone knows what is Vanik? Vanik is merchant. So this becomes conditioned. I pray for this and this boon, and I expect that you fulfill. So this is business deal, in fact. And in every relationship in this world, if it's not based on this spiritual love, unconditional love, is in a way more or less mutual exploitation. So I do this much and I expect back the same amount, or usually little more, for deal to be successful, for my business.
It's a business relationship.
Yes, business relationship. maybe, and in the West, I don't know how it's here, but in the West, more and more, it's blatant, this business relationship. They make a marriage contract before, so it's completely legalized business deal. So we all want to have a perfect garment, isn't it? And I run here around because I'm a runner also, and I saw different billboards, rescue South Africa. So you may know something. I don't know anything about your politics, so please don't be offended if I say something. But even if those who are sincere in their endeavor to save South Africa or any other country, if they don't have this knowledge about the Hetuki Bhakti, how to become happy and how to help other living entities to connect with the Supreme, there will be just expecting some business, good business. Yes. And this is usually what happens. There is a saying that power corrupts. Have you heard about this? And the absolute power corrupts absolutely. So, more power we have, more we are corrupt if we don't have this deep spiritual understanding. So, as Gandhi said, you should be the change you want to see in the world. So if we want to have saintly garment, saintly politics, first requirement is for us to become saintly. First requirement is to know what is a Hetuki Bhakti, what is pure devotional service, and what is Vanik mentality, what is business deal. So, I should not pray for material boons from the Supreme Personality of Godhead. I shouldn't pray for health. I shouldn't pray for good husband or good wife. I shouldn't pray for good children or anything like this, for good job. This is the things that people usually pray for. Because if I keep this mentality, then I'll just suffer. Lord Krishna says in 5th chapter of Bhagavad-gita, Yehi sansparshasha bhoga dukkha yona evati adyantavantah kontayana teshu ramate buddha. Those who have little intelligence, they don't try to enjoy in this material world, because everything that makes us happy in this material world has its beginning, its adi, and its anta, its end. So if we pray for material things and we try to enjoy material things, then when we enjoy something, we become attached to it. We don't want to lose it, because we receive some happiness from it. And we, as I explained in the beginning, we are pleasure-seeking living entities. We want to be happy. So if we derive from material life at least a drop of some pleasure, we become attached to it. But because it has its anta, its end, we'll definitely suffer. Because no one wants that the things that make him happy that would end. But they end by default. It cannot be otherwise. So if we have at least little intelligence, we should know that we should strive for something that's beyond this material pleasure. Because this material pleasure cannot touch ourselves. And no one can be happy from experiencing material pleasures. Real happiness comes from deep, loving relationship. This is the only happiness there is. In fact, if we make someone happy we really love, that makes us really happy. And I will tell you a short story from Slovenian literature. I'm coming from Slovenia. This is a Central European country. And it's an autobiographic story. There was a boy, about 5 years old or something, who heard conversation between his father and mother. And mother was explaining to his father that next day she would love to go to the church and ornament the Mary's altar. But she would like to do it with some special little white flowers that are called little tears. And she said, but nowhere these little tears are growing anymore. Just in some deep dark valley called hell. And this boy was extremely afraid of this deep dark valley called hell. And many times in the summertime, father sent him to herd sheep and goats in this valley, because there was a brook at the bottom of this valley, and the grass was more green and fresh inside the valley than outside. But he was so afraid of this valley that many times he escaped, he fled out, and he was punished. And when he heard this conversation between his mother and father, next day, before dawn, it was still dark, he ran into this deep dark valley called hell, into this hell. And because of the brook at the bottom, this echoing sound came from all the slopes of this hell. And it was even more frightening, and he expected that every moment some devils will come and take me away. And so he ran to the bottom of the valley and grabbed these flowers, little tears, a whole bunch of little tears, and ran out as fast as he could. And when he was returning home with these little tears, he saw his mother. She stepped on the threshold of the house, and the first rays of the rising sun were illuminating her. And then he came to her with this bunch of little tears, and she immediately understood how much sacrifice he performed to go, because she knew that he's terrified of this hell. And this occasion stayed with him for the rest of his life as the most pleasurable memory, because he made happy someone he really loved. And this is the message. We should connect with the Supreme Lord and try to make him happy, and then we can become happy ourselves too. And if we live in such a way, then we can transform even society around us. Maybe we don't have much power, but still, it's our duty to help ourselves and to help others. Whatever is in our power, we should do this. Everyone should have a mission in his life. There is a saying of Martin Luther King Jr. He said, if someone doesn't have something to die for, he has nothing meaningful to live for. Yes. So we should also have a mission in our life. And our mission should be how to spread the ultimate happiness, the perfect happiness. Sarve sukhino bhavantu. Let all living entities be happy. Yes, this should be our mission. And when we spread this all over the world, then even the politics won't be corrupt anymore.
You won't need to save the country.
Sorry?
You won't need to save the country.
Yes.
Like you saw the adverts, save the country.
Yes.
Rescue South Africa.
Rescue South Africa. Hare Krishna. So, if anyone has any question, please come forward and ask. Don't be shy. Yes, can you hand him a microphone?
Among our so-called Hindu people, there's always a debate whether we are practicing religion. You say you're practicing science in Hare Krishna. Can you elaborate more on that?
On science
Yeah.
of Krishna consciousness.
Yes.
Yes, thank you for the question. Krishna consciousness is spiritual science. It's not a religion, in fact. Or if we take the literal meaning of religion, it is. Because religion means to bind back with the Supreme. This is religion. Religare, it comes from Latin, to reconnect. So this is the perfect understanding of religion, is the process of Krishna consciousness. It is the process of consciousness. It's about consciousness. It's not about some ritual. It's about consciousness. Because people think, if I do this ritual, that yagya, or even if I pay for such a yagya, I'll be benefited. And we can be, of course, benefited in some material way, but this will not benefit our consciousness. It will not benefit our consciousness. So the Krishna consciousness process is scientific process how to transform our heart. Usually it's much easier to put our leg beyond our neck than to transform our heart. Yes. Because it is explained in Shastra that there are 5 stages of ignorance. Because why we want material happiness, in fact? We want material happiness because we identify with material elements, with something that we are not. And everything feeds, everything enjoys something of the same substance. So if we want to satisfy the body, we should live on, if we, for example, if we get nourishment for our material body from from biological food, because the body is biological substance. But the body, we are not the body. The body is just that matter, like this table here. It's just the whirlwind of material elements. In one side, we bring some different elements in this whirlwind, and on the other side, we dispose some elements from this whirlwind. So, but we are always the same personality. And even the state, it's interesting, even the state recognizes the reincarnation. Therefore, every 10 years we have to have new passport. They know that we are the same personality, but you changed your body. And scientists say that every 7 years we completely change all the cells in our body. So we are completely different personality on the bodily level. If we take, for example, the picture we were at the moment we were born, and the mirror in our hand, we can see it's completely different body, completely different personality. And if we ask our mother, who is this baby? She will say, this is you. Who is this you? It's not the body. And not that just on the gross level we changed. We changed also on our subtle level. Our worldview changed. Our desires changed. Our perception changed. So everything changed on the material platform. But we know that we are something beyond this. And this is spiritual soul. And if we feed the body with biological food, so we should feed our soul with transcendental spiritual food. Yes. And spiritual food is, of course, divine love. Nothing else is spiritual love, spiritual food than divine love, which is expressed by service. If we love someone, we serve them. It's natural. There is a joke. Someone wrote a love letter to his fiancée, and he said, "You are my everything. I would go for you through 7 seas. I will go over 9 mountains and through forests and jungles just for you." And he went on and on in this way. And then at the end, he wrote, "See you on Saturday if there is no rain." So, in fact, love is expressed only through service, only through real heartfelt sacrifice. If we don't have anyone to sacrifice for, we don't love anyone, in fact. So we should get acknowledged with this, we should know what is the science of Krishna consciousness, how to develop this loving relationship with the Lord. And the most universal process, which is present in every religion, every genuine spiritual path, is chanting of Lord's holy names. This is not something sectarian idea of the Vedas, but it is universal. Also Jesus said, "Hallowed be thy name." And in the Psalms it is written, those who call upon the name of the Lord, they will be saved. And in Islam, they have 99 names of Allah. And even the Buddhists are calling the names of the Lord Buddha. So we can see that this process is universal process of calling the Lord merciful presence in our life. And as it was explained, I don't know how many have you heard Savyasachi Prabhu. There are different stages or different parts of spiritual understanding and even of spiritual worlds. And the highest spiritual realm is the realm of Goloka Vrindavan. Maybe you have heard for Goloka Vrindavan before. And this is when the Lord becomes one of us. The loving relationship with the Lord is so intense that everyone forgets that He is Supreme Personality of Godhead. Even Lord forgets. And everyone else forgets. So we should strive for this unconditional love. That we don't even love the Lord for because He's the Lord, but we love Him because He's most dear to our heart. So this is the science, how to develop this perfect unconditional love. And this process of chanting of the holy name is most deep, and it can connect us to this most intimate relationship with the Lord. Hare Krishna. Any other question or comment? Yes?
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Yeah, I definitely love what you said about that loving relationship, because it's very difficult to serve or to do anything for anybody if you don't have a personal relationship with that person. Like the reason we get up and go to work in uncomfortable jobs or uncomfortable situations is because we want to make life or standards better for our families. It's because we love that person unconditionally, and God, Krishna has put these examples in our life, as you said, like our family, our children, and because He wants us to know this unconditional love towards Him, that we can never be happy without devoting ourselves to someone, a personal relationship. I mean, we do it for our wives, we do it for our children, we do it for loved ones around us. We never ever say to our loved ones, hey, I give you love in 10% or a tithe, or I love you this amount. There's never ever that kind of comment or thought in the back of your mind when it comes to unconditional love. I know that we don't love anybody unconditionally. There's always conditions, as you said, business relationships, T's and C's apply, what I can get out of you. Obviously, we're faking it till we're making it. We're faking the real thing at the moment. But loving Krishna, loving a divine, most opulent Shri, the giver, the possessor of everything, gives us the ability, or gives me the ability to practice that divine love. Because when I come to love relationships where I have T's and C's, what I can get out of you, my wife, my children, I'm buying you a car because I want you to respect me, or I'm buying you a tracksuit or a dress because I want you to treat me better. But we actually realize by serving Krishna, by practicing that, by serving unlimited, most opulent God, we actually learn to devote our lives to even the people around us. To see God in the flesh in front of us. To to serve the person. So that's what I'm learning Krishna consciousness as well.
Thank you for your comment. Hare Krishna. Yes. We should know that only relationship with the Lord can be pure, and relationship with the other living entities as our family and so on can also be pure if we have this spiritual love for the Lord. As soon as we don't have this pure spiritual love for the Lord, then nothing is pure in our life. Not even our loving relationships are pure, because our heart isn't pure. So the process is first to purify our heart, and of course help others to also embark this path to become happy. Hare Krishna. Mataji wanted to ask something, I think. Oh, no. Okay, is there anything else you want? Yes, please. Hare Krishna.
Thank you. I find out, are there any spiritual leaders that are taking part in politics in the world today? And is it okay for a devotee to be a politician?
Is it okay for a devotee to be a politician? Very interesting question. Thank you. My personal view on this point, in modern world, if you are a politician and a devotee, you have to compromise so many of your values and principles, because you don't have you're not in power. No one will vote you for with your values. This is, therefore Prabhupada called this democracy as demon crazy. Because if you will be against cow killing, and I don't know how it's here, but in Europe, against abortion and all other and against gambling and selling of alcohol and cigarettes and so on, no one will vote for you. So, but if you want to be in power, you have to compromise your Krishna consciousness. As simple as that. Maybe you want to cover your craving for some kind of power with the idea that I can introduce at least some values to the society, but I don't believe in this agenda, if I'm honest. So if we want to influence the society, we should preach this Krishna consciousness movement on every level of society, very forcefully. This is our politics. This is our politics. This is our influence on society. We should give people the alternative, how to become happy, and preach to them what is real happiness. If we don't do this, then we can have some political power, but we will not be successful. Even if we would have our political party, that not just one single vote we would be trying to get elected. No one, if the society is not changed, if the hearts of polluted human beings are not changed, then no one will vote for you. So we should change the hearts of people. We should change our hearts first, and try to help the Lord Chaitanya, who brought us this love of God, and he distributed these fruits of love of God everywhere. And he said, but I only have 2 hands, please help me. So I think this should be our politics. This should be our political agenda, to spread these fruits of love of God everywhere. Hare Krishna. So, there is another question.
What is the best way to spread Krishna consciousness? What on that question? What is the best way in every person's limited view? Maybe we are not a guru or a teacher or any kind of person. We just kind of living.
This is
so. What is the best way to teach Krishna consciousness to your wife, your children, and people in general?
Thank you very much. This is a very important question. I was thinking about this, and our social position usually gives us our mission. If we are brahmacharis, then our duty, our mission is to study scriptures. We live very simply under the direction of our spiritual master, and by getting purified like this and by getting knowledge during this time, then we can spread Krishna consciousness later. If we are grihastas, we are married men, our foremost duty and foremost mission is to teach our children how to become Krishna conscious. I don't know here in Hindu communities, but in the West, even in devotee families, the worst thing that can happen is that children think this Krishna consciousness is just the religion of my parents. This is the worst thing. So our mission is, as a grihasta, shouldn't be making money. This is not our mission. This is also one of our duties, to support our families, even materially and spiritually. But our mission is to make our family Krishna conscious. So in this position, spreading of Krishna consciousness is to become, if we want to spread Krishna consciousness in our family, that means we should be very much fixed ourselves in Krishna consciousness. Because if we are catching our rounds all day long, then our children will see this Krishna consciousness is just a burden for my father or for my mother. And I don't want to be burdened. I want to enjoy, because I'm a pleasure-seeking living entity. I'm an Anandamayo Sat. So, yes, this is our mission, to be fixed in Krishna consciousness ourselves, and to give this Krishna consciousness to our children and our wives and all our dependents. And if we are vanaprastha, that means we are retired, our mission is to get free of material attachments and to teach the whole world this Krishna consciousness, science and philosophy, and help people to understand what is the real value in life. And of course, if we are sannyasis, then we just spread this mercy all over the world. Yes, please.
How do you know what stage you brahmachari or dasa or vanaprastha or sannyas? How do you know where you are?
So, if you're not married, you're not grihastha. So you're either brahmachari or vanaprastha or sannyasi.
So if you want to become a sannyasi, you have to be divorced or leave your wife?
Yes, you shouldn't live with your wife if you are sannyasi. So, yes, of course, in modern world there is no clear distinctions many times. At least in the West it's like this, that many people live outside of ashram, so they're neither brahmacharis nor vanaprasthas nor sannyasis, but they're also not married. And they live alone and have a regular job and so on. I don't know how it's here. Is it also like this? It's also like this in South Africa?
South Africa, we are rainbow nation, so we do it all different ways.
Oh, all different ways.
We do it intelligently, what works.
Okay, thank you very much. Hare Krishna. I think we should end here. Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Gaur Bhakta Vrinda ki jai, Nitai Gaur Pramanande, Hare Krishna.